It's Senior Week on My West Michigan, and this segment is sponsored by the AVA Hearing Center in Grand Rapids. I'm here along with Dr. Karen Jacobs. She is an audiologist here. And if you find that you've been straining to hear the details of conversations lately, maybe picking up the dialogue in film or on television, you are not alone. A lot of people over the age of 50 suffer hearing loss, and it is important to get it checked out. There are things you can do. And thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about this experience that so many people over 50 have.
Yeah, it's actually a chronic problem. It is the third most chronic problem in our aging population, behind arthritis and hypertension. And the goal is to identify hearing loss early so that things can be done to mitigate the results of long-term hearing loss. We're finding now that there is such a connection between higher incidence of dementia and depression and social isolation. And that's important because 1 in 5 seniors are on antidepressant medication. And so if a good portion of it can be staved off through proper hearing, it can get rid of a lot of other problems too.
Yeah. Is this hearing loss just due to the aging process? Or is it because I put a funny little listening device in my ear every day for my job, and I know that by the time I'm 60, I'm going to be really strapped?
Yeah, it's a cumulative effect. We do live in a very noisy world, and noise exposure certainly damages hearing. But we also take ototoxic medication, and then genetics will play a big part of that as well.
So the key is to come in, and you like to get a baseline. You kind of say age 50, right?
I do.
So that you can do what?
So that we can be aware of any change, because things like diabetes and hypertension can first be picked up through hearing testing. And so it's great to get a handle on those early as well. And we also know that people wearing hearing aids do so much better when they start early in the progression of their hearing loss, because that old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
You do. And then it's hard to recoup that with just by popping a hearing aid in. It takes a much longer time to get used to it.
Doesn't a younger user adapt to the technology of it and the
does.
usage of it as well as the functionality?
That is correct. That is correct.
And technology has greatly changed the
It
hearing
has.
aid device, right? It's not this
fun.
big old clunker dunker anymore.
Correct. They can be tiny, discreet, and then they have multi-functions. There are hearing aids that will allow your phone to tap right into your hearing aid, or stream your music, or listen to a book on tape. Hearing aids also log how we use our hearing aids, and there might be instances where you wish volume were a little louder or softer, so you can actually train your hearing aid to some of your preferences for listening. So,
And there are a lot of public places now where your hearing aid can tap in. Like I mentioned, seeing a show on stage or whatever.
Yes.
They are adapting to people who have hearing differences, right?
Correct. Grand Rapids happens to be the most looped city in the United States.
Oh.
And so a looped environment allows for the microphone system to be sent right directly into the hearing aid. So it's like you've walked right up close to that talker, and it's mic to ear reception.
Will there be some signs? A lot of people, first of all, they deny they're experiencing
They
hearing
do.
loss.
They do.
Or they don't notice it. They're adapting to it, right? And it may be people in their lives who notice first that there's trouble with a loved one.
That's very true. In fact, on average, people wait about 7 years from the time they know they have hearing loss before they actually do something. And again, that's why that screen at 50 is so important, because it might be 57 before you actually would notice that you've got some hearing loss.
Okay, so let's just quickly talk about the screening process, because it's really simple, isn't it?
It is. And you don't have to drink anything disgusting or be put under. So just another fun 50 thing to do. We put you in a sound booth, check the ears, make sure everything looks good and clear for testing. And then we do the good old test that maybe you had in school where you heard the beep and you pressed a button.
Yes.
Then we also check a number of different ways. You want to know how well the brain can process speech information, and we actually do some speech and noise testing and some speech discrimination testing to see how much cognitive function has already been sacrificed, if any. And at 50, we're hoping not to see much loss. And that's going to serve as that baseline so that we can monitor other factors in life that might be affecting hearing.
All right, well, it's one of those fun 50 things. She said it here, guys. So come on and make an appointment, get that screening done, and change your life possibly for the better. We have put contact information for AVA Hearing Center on our website. Go to 13onyourside.com. You'll find it there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.